Hey everyone, it's Amanda with My Life, My Way. Yeah, it's been a long time since we did an update. I'm going to give it a couple minutes before I get into anything, so if you're following this later instead of live, just skip ahead to the 2-minute mark. I promise not to talk about anything important between now and then, except for this. Look at this. So I'm just going to give a couple minutes for everybody to kind of log in. I did not realize how see-through this shirt was going to look on video, because it's not that see-through in person. Put that back. Hey guys! How's everybody doing today? So yeah, just kind of chilling out in my own bathroom. Figured we'd talk for a couple minutes. It's been way too long since we did an update video. Hold on. Let's kind of open up my can. This is not sponsored by them. I just like to drink it. Let's just put that out there. How you guys doing today? I know it's been a horrendously long time. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a couple minutes. I'm going to get to the 2-minute mark before I talk about anything important, but there's definitely some reasons and some things going on, and no, none of them are pregnancy, which is rather unfortunate, but that's kind of the way that goes down. So, aw, thank you. Hey guys. Yeah, thanks. We'll get into that in like 30 seconds, Kat. I promise to tell you. I've got lots and lots of stuff to kind of get updated. I'll show you guys the hair in a second once we get everybody on. How's it going? All the way from Florida. I'm going to be there in 6 days. Not even that. We fly down on the 6th. That's the second today already, isn't it? Ta-da! So that's exciting. Yes, because it's way nicer where you are in Florida than where we are right now. It is snowing and it looks kind of awful. It's not that cold, but, you know, it's not great. Hi. Okay, so we're at the 2-minute mark. So I'll start talking. If anybody jumps on, then we'll kind of go from there. So the first thing you guys can probably tell is I got my hair dyed today. The reason I got it dyed is because at the beginning of every year, my husband and I go on a heavy metal cruise. It's a bit of a departure for me because I'm usually like a country two-stepping kind of a girl. My husband's a huge heavy metal fan. So we make it work because he takes me to Carrie Underwood and I take him to Iron Maiden. You know what I mean? So we go on this cruise where it's usually the first week of February. This week they've changed it around and it's the second week of January. So I got my hair is dead. You guys ready to see this? Hold on, let me turn around. Can you see that? So it's like a teal at the top and then it's like blue underneath and then it's purple way at the bottom. So it's definitely different than I've ever done before and I love it. I'm definitely a little bit like blue. A little around the edges, because it's a fresh hair dye. Like it literally was done. We finished up like 20 minutes ago. So like that'll go away as it sits for a couple of days. That's totally normal. But I have a little bit of blue. There's like a little spot that's right here. I have a little spot on my hand. They'll all go away. So, but yeah, I'm super excited about it. I got it cut too, so it's not quite as long. It was like all the way down to my butt. And it's come up. It's sitting about an inch below my bra strap line now, so it's a little shorter than it was, but all the bad stuff at the very bottom is all gone, so that's nice, and it feels good all over again, and I just like, I can't get enough of it. I love this. I usually only get it dyed like a purple color, and then that's kind of it. But yeah, I decided to like do something a little bit different, and I'm glad you love the blue, so it's kind of a bit of a departure for me. I love this color. We were going to do the other way around, so like purple at the top and then blue and then teal. But my purple from the last cruise was a permanent color and it left kind of like a pink tinge behind. And she was worried if we did the purple at the top and the teal at the bottom, it would do weird things to the teal. So we just flipped around. But yeah, so I'm super excited about it. I look very, very white in this light right now. I'm like glowing. And not from like an actual glow. I kind of look like Casper the Ghost kind of glow. So yeah. So that's kind of like the today news. I haven't talked to you guys since we did a pregnancy test at the end of October, maybe the first couple of days of November. I think was the last time I did a video. It's been months, guys. I came home from the job I was working. The reason I was up in Grand Prairie in November is because I was teaching up there for a week and a half. I was teaching the second week in advanced first aid and an entire medical first responder course. Those are our volunteers that kind of hang around. We had a ton of fun. It was a great time. A little bit blind leading the blind because I've never done it before, but it was good. And then I was home for about 2 weeks. I can't remember, like, forgetting to update you guys just because life got kind of busy. I was working lots on the ambulance, that kind of thing. And then at the end of November, my stepdad suddenly passed away due to sudden cardiac arrest. And as much as I wanted to update you right away when it happened, you can't. There's people that need to be notified in person, and there's some stuff that has to happen. I spent a lot of time with my mom in hours and days in a timeline that I don't usually follow. So pretty much, like, I was either at work or with my mom. Like, I had my neighbor letting my dog out for a week because she lives across the city from me, so she's about a 25-minute drive just to come back and let the dog out. So I came home every night to sleep, but I spent a lot of time there. So everything's kind of evening out now. She's doing okay, but as good as you can reasonably expect from somebody whose husband suddenly died. He has been sick a lot. He's a heart transplant patient, so the heart in his chest isn't his. So the heart medications tanked what was left in his kidneys. So he's on, like, home dialysis. This summer, I guess last summer now that we're in January, he actually picked up necrotizing fasciitis, which is flesh-eating disease. He managed to even bounce back from that. He was doing really well. He looked like he was going to, like, pull out of that. And then he just died of sudden cardiac arrest one night. They did not do an autopsy because of how sick he was. It could have been anything. He wasn't that old. He was in his late 50s. But it was definitely a surprise. Like, as much as he's been sick, he was starting to rally back. We thought we were out of the woods for this round. Awesome. And then that was it. But one of the really sweet things we found was his journal. And he just liked to write stuff down. He wrote down, some of it was medical stuff, the treatments he was getting, the drugs he was taking, any new information he got from his doctors, things like that. And then some of it was just chronicling random things that happened in his life because he needed to vent about it or just wanted to get it out. And some of it was adorably sweet. And my mom actually made copies of a couple of the, like, excerpts. Jeez, let's say that word out in English. And actually, like, photocopied them and left them around the house for people to read. They were really, really sweet. Talking about how much he loved my mom and that he only wished he was going to get more time because he knew this summer that he was very, very sick. He spent months in the hospital. We weren't even sure if he was going to come home. And he wrote these really, really sweet things about my mom. So this year for Christmas, my mom asked that all of us kids get a journal. And we're going to start writing in the journal. Just randomly, kind of whenever you feel like picking up a pen and pencil. Not like it has to be every Sunday. Nothing really prescribed like that. But I thought it was really cute. So I thought I'd share that with you guys because it was kind of a nice piece of her husband that, like, she could kind of have that one last conversation you always wish you could have. And she kind of got that out of this notebook that he was keeping because they didn't have enough time to have a conversation about it. So that was really sweet and super cute. My original hairdresser is watching. Hi! My regular girl couldn't do it this week. I'll just show you again. Look at that. My regular girl couldn't do it this week. She's actually on vacation. Why are you watching me while you're on vacation? And she referred me out to the girl that did my hair today. And she actually came to my house and did this. And it's phenomenal. She did a wonderful job. So if you live in the Edmonton area, hit me up. I'll let you know who regularly does my hair and then who did this to my hair. Because, yeah, they're fantastic and I can't recommend them enough, either one of them. But anyways, so we all got journals for Christmas this year. So we're all going to kind of, like, write randomly stuff down. So in the event that something happens to you, heaven forbid, there's that last kind of, like, connection that your loved ones can get out of reading your journals and your diaries. So, yeah, so we all got one. I bought one for myself. I bought one for my husband. Lord knows if he's actually going to use it or not. If he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But my sister and I got one. Her husband got one. My brother and his wife all got one. We bought one for my mom as well so that she could start doing some journaling and that kind of thing, kind of writing her feelings down a little bit as she's kind of moving through this grief process and that kind of stuff and kind of looking towards a new year and that kind of thing. So Christmas was a little harder this year than normal. There was more crying than normal at Christmas. We did do the lights this year. So last year, my mom drives a school bus, and she borrowed the school bus from the company that she works for, piled all of her friends and family into it, and they went and did the lights at Castrol Raceway, which is the race strip just south of the city. And they do it all up in Christmas lights. There's a whole big windy road thing that you kind of travel. They have like the 12 days of Christmas. Some of them are themed. Some of them are just random ones. There's a random bear that does a jump on a motorcycle. It's actually really cool. If you've never been there but you live in the Edmonton area, you should check it out. I think it's closed now for this year. I think it might actually be going to the 4th. So if you have enough time, you should go see it. But they did this last year, and they put everybody on the bus, and they just rolled down the windows and pumped up the Christmas music and did this tour through, and he loved it. He talked about it all the way into this summer, because I missed out on it, which was really sad. I wasn't in town that day. My husband and I couldn't make it, and it was rather unfortunate, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. And I mean, not knowing that he wouldn't be on this year's trip wasn't anything that crossed anybody's mind. So we were talking to Mom, like, what do you want to do? Like, don't feel overpressured to do anything you normally do. If you want it low-key, if you want it whatever, we'll go with whatever your wishes are for this year, for the Christmas and the holiday kind of season. Like, just you tell us what you need and we'll make it happen. And she wanted to do the bus trip in kind of his memory. So we got all on the bus, everybody got on, we did the run through Castrol Raceway, and then we stopped the bus at where she picked us all up, which is just an empty part of a parking lot. She popped open a bottle of the sparkling apple juice stuff. Because he's a transplant patient, he can't drink, so that was his sort of option to champagne anyways. Can't drink on the bus, no liquor license. So we popped open this like sparkling apple juice, and everybody did a toast to him. And it was really, really sweet. It was kind of like a nice thing to kind of do to kind of bring him back into the holiday season. She also took his stocking this year and like stuffed it full of Christmas flowers and then hung it up on the wall, so it was kind of like he was there with us even though the stocking was empty. She just didn't want to like be standing there staring at it and having it be empty, and you know what I mean? So I thought it was a really nice tribute. Yeah, so that was kind of my Christmas. It was a little bit wild. And then on Christmas itself, both at my mom and my mother-in-law's, was fantastic, with unfortunately not having my husband around. He was working till the 30th, which was kind of crappy, but we always, because we don't have kids yet, we always volunteer up to work the holidays so that if somebody wants to spend time with their kids, like we'll work, we'll take over that. It's not a big deal. So there was a shift that was going, so he worked nights on it, not a big deal. It just kind of was a little sad, so I spent Christmas by myself this year. It's kind of the first time that he hasn't been home for like the actual Christmas day before. We always volunteer. It just, usually there's not a lot of work going on, so it's not a big deal. But he did come home on the 30th, and on the 31st, a friend of mine named Andy and her husband Steve got married. It was on New Year's Eve. It was fancy. It was at the West Edmonton Mall. It was like 1920s Gatsby, the Great Gatsby themed. It was fantastic. The amount of like headpieces and sequins. It was all black tie. It was fabulous. My sister was there as well, and her husband. And my husband went to that as well because he made it home on the 30th, and we had an amazing time. I DD'd, so they got a little intoxicated, but I stayed sober and drove everybody home. I had a glass of wine with dinner at 5, and then we left at 1 o'clock in the morning. So, but, you know, not a whole lot happening there. And then going forward into 2020, we're leaving on the 6th for Florida, which is super cool, and I'm very excited. It's the heavy metal cruise my husband and I go on every year. It's called 70 Tons of Metal. It is a huge heavy metal festival. There's like 60 bands. Everybody plays twice. So there's 120 concerts, 4 days, 4 stages, and it is wild, which is why I got my hair dyed, just in case you missed this, if you're just tuning in. It looks fabulous, and I'm super excited about it. Yeah, so that was kind of fun. And then, yeah, and then we're not really sure where to go from there. When it comes to like TTC stuff, we had a miscarriage. If you've been kind of missing some videos, or because I've been like posting super regular anyways, we had a miscarriage this spring from a spontaneous pregnancy. We've never had one before that was not medicated, so it was kind of a surprise. It came after a round of IVF. After we knew it had failed, we came off the medications. We just were going to take a bit of a break, and I was sitting there one day, actually I was talking with you guys, I think I was videoing it, I'm like, well, I'm on day 35, I should be getting a period tomorrow, maybe, we're not even sure. Hi, Felicia. I'll see you in like a week. Yes, buddy. So yeah, so where was I going with this? Yeah, so we had this like spontaneous pregnancy thing that kind of came out of nowhere. That you guys watched me find out about, and then we promptly lost it right away. And it was really unfortunate. It ended up in a D&C, and then there was complications with the D&C. And afterwards, my husband and I were just like, you know what, we need a few days. You're going to Fort Lauderdale tomorrow? Yeah, buddy. We're flying down the 6th, so I'll see you soon. But yeah, so we kind of just gave it a break. I did do a pregnancy test in October just because it was that time of the month for me. I wanted to do an update. It was Halloween, which is when I found out we were pregnant with our first one, so I was hoping for like just some like good timing vibes, but it didn't happen. This month, because we are going on vacation and my husband's gonna be home, like, you know what, let's try again. So I took the letrozole this month, 7.5 milligrams, days 3 to 7. We're on day 9, I think, today. Don't quote me on that, please. So if my next video is a little bit off on timing, it's because this one's not exactly sure for today. But I figured that way, like, we'd be ovulating around when we should be on our cruise. I mean, everybody tells you to go on vacation, but like, seriously, we've been trying for 4 years now. We've been on a couple vacations, guys. Been trying. But we'll see. We'll see if it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. If it doesn't, we might try once or twice more, but our plan actually is to go to IVF again in the spring. We're just waiting on a bit of my husband's work stuff to come through so we know his schedule. And there's a bit of a buyout happening with his company, so we're just kind of sticking to kind of like the run of things before we decide to spend 15 grand on IVF again. So we're just kind of like writing it out a little bit, but once everything looks secure and everything's good and he's moved over to the new company and everything's fine there, we're going to start booking our stuff in. Probably around, we run into something called spring breakup up here for anybody working oil field. And it's when in and about April, March sometimes into May, we get a little bit of like, the ground gets really squishy just because everything's melting off and you can't get the big trucks into sites. So everybody kind of goes home for like 6 weeks while we wait for everything to dry out, and that's about the time we're gonna bail out. So probably about April-ish, if we don't make a boat baby. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's kind of where we're sitting at right now. I don't know if anybody has any questions or any comments or anything like that, but yeah, I'm super excited. We leave on the 6th. I've kennel up my dog on the 5th. He loves going to this kennel down south in a city called Nisku. He goes to a place called Cub Mead. He loves it. He comes home and he sleeps for like 3 days because they put him in dog runs next to other big dogs. So they're in their own separate runs. He can't hurt them. They can't hurt him, anything like that. But he does like chase them up and down the dog runs. They're wild. And then because he's old, he's like turning 11 this spring. He comes home, he sleeps for like 3 days. He totally forgets that this is actually not how he usually does things. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's all for our update. That turned into a bit of one. What are we at now? Oh god, 18 minutes. Okay. So anyways, I'm going to let you guys go so you can go enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy dinner, if that's where you're at in your day as well. And if not, this will probably be my last update before we get on the cruise. And when we go to the cruise, we go incommunicado. So there's no cell phones, there's no internet. My husband and I just kind of unplug for the week that we're down there for and just kind of like be us and be married and enjoy a little metal and a little booze, a lot of food. You know how it goes. But anyways, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy whatever it is that you celebrate. Whether it's non-denominational or heavily religious, it's totally up to you. I think holidays are just for family anyways, and how you celebrate with either the family you were born with or the family you made for yourself, or the family of friends you've created for yourself. That's what it really means. So I will talk to you guys later. If you're my heavy metal family, I will see you soon, and I'm so excited. And I will talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.